Okay, so this video I'm gonna try and make a little robot character. Let's get started. So new empty scene, nothing fancy. We're gonna delete this sun and the camera for now. We'll add them back in later if we need it. What we're gonna do is go to edit, preferences, add-ons, and we want to add in the loop tools. The mesh loop tools, we want to check this. Make sure we have this on. That, and we're going to start with our default cube. Okay. So we're going to apply a modifier. We're going to add a subdivision surface. And we'll set this to like 3 and apply. Now it doesn't look like a sphere, so we're going to hit tab, make sure everything's selected. Then we're going to go up to mesh, transform, and we're going to say to sphere. And then as you can see, as I drag the mouse, you can see it turn into a sphere. So I'm just moving it to the right, and now hit enter. Yeah, that's more like a sphere. Yeah. Next one do is actually select that middle vertex. Let's just get it straight on. And then I'm going to hit Control and the plus button on my numpad, so it goes outwards. So, and I'm going to right click loop tools, and I'm going to say circle. So this will be the face of our robot. And we're going to extrude inwards. Extrude this in. I'll leave a loop here. Push this back. Now I'm going to use the scale, and on the x-axis, I'm going to just scale this in, and then I'll hit 0 on my key. It'll just like align everything, like be like bang. It just aligns it all, rather than having that curve. Anyway, turn this one back on. Hit shade smooth. Looks horrible. Show up here. In your normals, you're gonna turn on that auto smooth. There you go. Now we can add another subdivision after we we do a little bit more. We can add another subdivision, get it a bit more smoother. But yeah, we've got a basic shape. Like this will be our little robot character. Yeah. Let's add a bevel on this little edge, this lip here. So I'm gonna select the edge loop. They're not selecting all of it. We'll just do like this, Alt and Shift. Okay. Actually, before I do that, I want to select this inner loop. I want to move this inner loop back. That. Closer to this. And now I'll select this edge loop here. Go. Now we have this loop, and then on the right click, say bevel edge. We add a few segments, so we go here into the options and we increase those segments. I'll leave it at 4. That looks alright. Cool. I'm happy with that. Perhaps I want another you can add some more cuts or something. So let's add another cut here. And let's add a circle here or something. So I'm going to select this middle vertex here, or actually let's say this one here. Actually, this is easier to look at from the side. Yeah, that's alright in the middle. And then I'm gonna right click, it's Control and then plus. Now I'm gonna do subdivide this. Right click subdivide, and then right click loop circle. We've got another circle here. Just a little bit of extra. I'm gonna do a loop, bring this in. So insert the inset face, and then we're gonna extrude back. This. Like that. When we add it in, it will get smoother. Again, I want to add another bezel here, or bevel. There we go. I'll select this loop inside. right click, bevel edge, go. Okay, I'm happy with that. So that's like if you want, you can add more cuts, more like lines and stuff. Entirely up to you. You know, like we can actually just make another ring here. One more. I'm just making this as we go along, so making this up as we go along. So I'm gonna select this loop here. What I want it to do is loop the circle. It's not perfect, right? Make it big, push it back. Something like this. Then we have another ring. And what I can do is add a bevel edge, and I'm gonna bring this to 2. Bring it kind of tight, and shadow everything here, make it fun here. You know that looks alright. I'm gonna select that middle loop of that bezel. Just bring this in. Now we've got like, you know, kind of, it breaks that. It's got a little frame, and then it's got the body, and you know, it's could be whatever, like ear or whatever, tin or whatever. Anyway, let's see what happens now if we add a subdivision to vision, and nice and smooth. Of course, we can go in here now. You know, we can tighten this. So like here, this is if we want to make this tight, we just kind of select these 2 loops here and bring them closer together and scale. Yeah, and now we've got, you know, oh, it would help if I selected the entire loop. For some bizarre reason, it does not select the entire loop. Okay. Then we're going to scale this. We can of course scale this and play around with that. Yeah, I like that. Looks nice. Here it's not clean, very clean. So I'm gonna add another edge loop in here. Tab, select the edge loop, and I'm just gonna bring this in, tie this up, and we're gonna select these faces here. So we're gonna select the actual select this vertex here in the middle. Control. Sure, let me go into wireframe so I can see what I'm selecting. There we go. And what I failed to do was flatten that. So I'm going to just use a scale. And as I start to scale, I just press 0 on my numpad and it aligns it all the way. There we go. That looks a lot cleaner. Here, there's some, you know, weirdness going on. So I want to add the edge loop here. Right. Hopefully that'll fix that. That looks a lot better, much cleaner. There you go. So those loop tools are really cool, you know. There are a lot of plugins you can do, you know, like the hard, what's it called? The hard ops and fluent add-ons and stuff like that. But you know, these tools are pretty simple. Using Subdivision, nothing too complicated. Anyway, let's just add the material on this. So, delete that, and I'll just rename this body. And we're going to change this to metallic and push this all the way to 1, bring the roughness down. Let's just switch the renderer. There we go. Now we got, you know, some kind of, you know, metallic. We're going to play around with the material in a second. I'm going to move this up. Not perfect, but there you go. You can design whatever you want. There's no, you know, plan to follow along, or you can, you know, divert off and make something else. on the face, I want to make a face, so this is like an LCD screen. So I'm just gonna simply select that middle vertex and let's go to wireframe, make sure I've got the whole front face selected. There we go. So I just want that face. And we're gonna assign a material to it. So we're gonna go up here, add a new material, assign. Yeah, that looks. Now again, the edges here because of the subdivision. So what I can do is just expand it by 1 side. There we go. And now it fills it properly. There we go. Now if I select this second material, I'll just call this screen. This will be my screen. And I'm gonna make this black. And just turn the roughness up. Yeah, and we've got a nice LCD screen. Now we can put the face of the little robot character on here and show its expressions and stuff or whatever you want. Anyway, let's go. Let's add something here because there's just a hole, So let's just add a mesh cylinder. I want to rotate this along the x-axis, 90 on its side. I'll just bring the depth down. Something and position it into that place. Into place. And go here. Of course, you can create whatever you like. There's no, like I said, there's no rules to what you create. It's smooth. I'll just turn on the auto smooth with the normals. Then, something like this. I'll apply the same material on this for the body material, and then I'm going to just bevel this edge. Select this edge here, bevel edge. Of course, you can increase that and then change the width. I like the look of that. Okay, got some little bit of detail in here. And I want a ring. So I'm going to say mesh. Actually, I can just create from this. So I'm going to use the same mesh here. So I'm just going to select this loop, the back loop here. And I will just say, I'm going to hit E, S, and extrude out. So if I bring this plate out, you'll see, so we just got this kind of extended plate here. And now I'm going to assign another material to that. This material we will use for our face as well, so the same color. So I'm going to hit add, and oh, that's wrong. Sorry, one more. I'm going to add here. New. I'm going to call this, I don't know, glow. I'll just call it glow. This will be our glow emission texture. I'm going to change this to emission, and choose a nice color you want. I want a bluish color. Yeah, we can change this as we go along. With those faces selected on that outer ring, I'll just assign. Okay. Now you notice I've got some clipping, so it's clipping into the model, and that is caused probably the face itself. So let's just edit that. Now we can select this face here, just delete that. Go. And then again, select this loop, just assign it again. See ya. Now we don't have that clipping, and you can like push this in, round, position it how you want. Yeah, nothing fancy. We go here and we change the scene to this. Looking kind of cool. We go into our EV options, I'll just turn ambient occlusion on and turn on bloom. Go. Now if I click on the material here, as you can see, mission, there you go. Looks kind of slick, right? Nothing fancy, but yeah, it's just simple shapes. But and we can keep on adding details to this. So if you want to add like slices into this ring, for example, it's up to you. There's no rules. You can add like little antenna popping out of you, and so on. So anyway, let's focus. Let's focus back on this model for a second. Let's add some feet. So I'm going to just use a mesh, and we're going to use a UV sphere. Nothing fancy. Let's go into the side view here. Scale this down. Boom. Really simple. Go to wireframe, and then go to faces, delete half of it. Okay. Remove those faces. Select the edge loop beneath it. Go. You can hit F to fill. Go. We've got little feet. And of course they don't look like feet, but right click shade smooth. And I'm going to scale this a little bit. Like so. See if we can add a modifier. Let's use it like something like a simple deform and taper, and want it to go this way a bit. Okay, there we go. And I'll just hit so now this is, you know, this is the toes and this is the back. Of course you can add a slice here for us if you want it. I don't know, there's so many things you can do, but I'm going to keep it really simple and clean. And I'm going to apply the body material to that. There we go. Move this over here to the left, and then I'll rotate this slightly. And I'll shift select this, shift D, and we'll duplicate that. Facing maybe the other way. Feel they're a bit too big. Just bring them down a tiny bit. Alright, I like it. Now what I want to do is parent this and this together. So I'll select this first, this side earpiece, and then select the body, and then I'll just say parent object. So now this will follow this. So now they move together. Okay. Let's add the face. Let's give it some, you know, bring it to life. Right now we have something, but let's add some life to it. So we want a mesh. We want to start with a plane. We want to rotate it on the y-axis to face us. So we're going to say 90. Okay. That's facing upwards at us. We'll move this forward. Scale this down. And this will be one of the eyes. We're going to create an eye. Make sure omit and bring this forward. There we go. So I might need to make another material. You'll see. Might get away with it anyway. So this is gonna be our eye. We're gonna hit tab. We're gonna add the edge loop in the middle and one at the top. Now you can choose how much. Actually, let's add like, yeah, there we go. I think that should be enough. I'm gonna subdivide it like this. I'm going to vertices, and I'll just kind of bring these in. Now I'm going to apply a subdivision to this, subdivision modifier. Yeah, and then I'll just scale this in. And we have an eye. I think fancy, right? What we're going to do is go here to our vertex object properties, and what we're going to do is add a shape key. This will be a basic eye, and then we're going to do add another one. So I'm going to add this, and I'm going to call this blink. This will be a blink. So I'm going to hit tab, and now we want this to blink. So tab. Make sure you have blink clicked selected, and we're going to make this blink by just swishing this down and swishing this down, selecting them all and scaling them in. There we go. For now, good blink by dragging this value. We're going to click on the blink. So it's doing a shape blend between this basic and blink. And then we can of course keyframe. Now you can create all kinds of expressions, robot expressions just using the eyes, or you can add a mouth or whatever you want, or icons. You can do cool things. Let's make another one, and this one will be upset, or it's angry. So I'll just call it upset. Upset, right? You've annoyed the robot, and now it's angry at us. Okay, and we're gonna say tab. We're gonna make it look angry. Okay. Yeah, like this. It's down. These three up. Of course, you can create whatever you want. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. That. Let's see. So upset. So this is gonna be our upset eye. Okay. So right now it looks kind of weird that it's just like that, and it doesn't make sense, but you'll see in a second. So what we've done, we've got our upset eye and we've got our blinking eye, and we can start keyframing this now. So go to start of your animation. You can say, set a key, and then I'll just say maybe 10 frames, and it depends on the speed you want of the blink, but yeah, and then I'll set it keyframe at 1. So every 10 frames, and then it's just gonna blink and blink. Okay, set key. And then, and then maybe it blinks here at 40 again. Set a key, so at 50. And then we go to 60. There you go. So, and you get the idea. So you can animate this however you want. And then let's say here we annoy the robot, or it gets upset at us. So we're gonna set a key on this value, upset, and at 90 it goes, and then it goes angry. Then we set a key, and it's holding its anger on us. It's really upset. For a few frames, and then it's like, oh, okay, I'll go back to normal. Oh, frame, and then I can go back here, add a keyframe for the blink, blinks, key. Yeah, there's many ways to animate stuff. You can create a rig, or you can use shape keys, whatever. It's entirely up to you. This is just one way of doing things, but there's loads of ways of doing it. You can use like textures, you could use however you want. Alright, there's loads, but that's up to you to explore and find that. Anyway, on that subdivision of the eye, I'm just going to increase that so it's a bit smoother. There we go. Next I want to add is a mirror modifier. I'm going to say mirror, apply mirror modifier, so we can have two eyes. If I can find it, and for mirror. Yeah, there you go. and we want it along the y-axis. So say y-axis, we need the object to mirror it. So we're going to add a empty. I'm going to say plane axis. I'm just going to move this up so we can see it. Okay, so I'm going to select this, go to empty, and we're going to choose mirror object. We're going to say empty. Okay. Now if I move this to the left, there we go. Now we've got two eyes. It's blinking. Gets upset. Now of course we can space this out. Okay. There we go. It's starting to look like a little robot, man. Where it's angry. There we go. Sure. However, it looks a bit meh. You know, need some material. So let's create a material for the eyes. Add a material in here. For these eyes. And we're gonna add an emission. Actually, not emission. Let's just use the principal PDF. Leave it as that. Let's go into the shading tab. Because we can do the emission in here anyway. Okay, let's zoom in. Eyes. And then we can tweak this body as well, the sheet materials on that. Anyway, so we want to, you know, add like lines and stuff on there and add emission. So choose the emission color, say blue. Everyone can start with blue. There we go, we've got a nice glow. And we want to make it look like an LCD screen. So we want alpha, and we want to link it to a wave texture. Oh, sorry. So we're going to texture. Want to do wave texture. I did have it in there as well. I don't know why I didn't select it from there. Anyway, and this will be for the alpha. Okay. Next, the vector for that will come from mapping. And from that vector, we need the UV coordinates and texture coordinates. And this will just be the camera. So the vector to the camera. So now if I scale this down, we don't see anything going on here. So what we're going to do is go and click on our material and then scroll down. And here where it says the blend mode, we're going to make sure this is set to like something like hash, alpha hash. Well, actually, let's do alpha blend. Should look a little bit cleaner. That looks a lot cleaner. And the rotation, we want to rotate this along the x-axis. And you can see here. So on the x-axis here, we're going to rotate this 90 degrees. That's not doing nothing. On the z then. Okay, so it's on the z. There we go. Now you can choose how many lines you want on that. Yeah. Now I just got this kind of like, you know, nice LED look to it, LCD screen look to it. Anyway, that's it. That's all we really need. Next, we're going to go layout. Now, so we can go here, you know. Yeah. And now what I want to do is actually keyframe the colors as well. So when it's angry, I want it to go red. Or whatever, you know. So here, at this point, we're going to click this material. And you can keyframe the emission here. So this frame here. 80 is going to be blue. And then let's say here, 85. I'll change it to red. Boom. Angry. Then I'm going to set key here. And then, you know, goes back to blue. Or whatever color you like. Boom. Nice. Back to normal. And don't make the little robot upset. There we go. That's cool. And now what we want as well, we probably want this side, maybe this color here, this emission. So we want our material up here. And on this body, on this little earpiece, whatever the glow, we probably want to keyframe that too. So 80, we frame that blue. Here where it changes at 85 to red. Whatever color you want, to be honest. No law about that. Anyway, and then it's red. Say 120, say 2, and 125. It's blue. Goes back to blue. There you go. We've got this little character, and then of course you can animate the feet, and you can move it around and have the wiggle and all sorts. So there's so many things you can do. What I do want to do is parent the eye. So I want to select the eye, the empty that's doing the mirror, and the body, and then I'll just say parent to object. So the body is the last one I want to select. So now whenever I click on the body, now I can move this, and it'll move with the the eyes and stuff will stay with the body. It won't go off separate. So we're parenting everything to one object. There we go. And of course you can you could keyframe the body if you want. I'm just going to turn on the auto key and just move this like this, and then maybe here 24, and then just got a little 48, and it's entirely up to you. You get the idea, and so on. That body, what I can do is just copy these keyframes, copy, and here, paste, and so on. I'm just kind of now speeding through, but you get the idea. There's no. You can animate this however you like. Let's see. Now I want to add some noise on the metal itself, so let's add some little imperfections of the roughness. Now what you can do, yeah, let's just do that. So the roughness, we could maybe add some noise, texture. We can use some color ramp. Like the color ramp effect. So that goes here. This goes into the roughness. Have I got the right material selected? I hope. Yep. Disconnect that. Yep. Make sure, let's just copy this. You have the right material selected. Right now I have the LCD one selected, so I want to select the body one. Let me paste it in here. Oh, it doesn't matter. We don't need to paste it. We can just recreate it anyway. So we want the color ramp. Then to our roughness. There we go. And then we're just going to add some noise. Yeah. Then tighten this. Change the scale of that noise. Add detail. Roughness. And so on. But yeah, you get the idea. You can play around with it. So it's not perfect. It's entirely up to you how much you want to do. Change this. Yeah. There you go. The layout. It's just adds a bit more. You can add scratches, all sorts, fingerprints, whatever you want. This is a little thing toy in your desk, for example. Yeah, we've got a little character. Animated, we've got the eyes moving, it's reacting to us, and so on. And then you can you can rig this and make the feet move and all sorts. But I'll leave that up to you. Let's just drop in a little back plate, add some lights. I think 230, so mesh, plain. Your standard backdrop. I'm gonna select that package, the edge here. I'm going to say extrude, so extrude, and then just move it up. I'll select that edge again, bevel edge. We've done this a million times. Yeah. And so shade smooth. Like this. Now what I'm going to do is actually add a camera. So I'm going to add a camera to the scene. Okay. Vertical split. I'm going to hit 0 to go into the camera view, home. On the camera itself, I'm going to go to viewport and just make the passport out to 1. So, we just see what the camera is. I'm going to just uncheck these. So now this is just what we want to see, what the camera is. Actually, I'm going to press N. I'm going to go view here and then turn camera to view. And then I can, move this camera. I can move the camera here myself. I can also move it here in the viewport and, get the view I want. Go. Looking cool. I like it. Everyone just see a tiny bit of the glow. Not too much, but yeah. And then of course I can expand this backplate. So and maybe let's see. Let's just click on this. I'll turn the auto key back on and turn the rotation. Maybe just looking at the camera, then turns away. But yeah, you can do all sorts of this anyway. Anyway, let's add the material on this backplate, this backdrop that we've created. So, whatever color you like. Material, new color, and we drop in the color we want. Like this, that's not bad. I'm gonna bring that specular down. Okay. And then we can add some lights in the scene. Yeah, we're just gonna drop in a point light. Maybe I'll put one behind him, directly behind him. So increase that. I'm gonna increase that power. And you can play around with the light of the color of the light. There you go. It's nothing amazing. If I turn on the screen space reflections, and we can see a bit more. We get all these nice reflections. Just uncheck half trace as well, and you can light this up however you like. I said there's no rules to what colors you choose and how you light this. But yeah, there you go. Hopefully that was useful. It's not it's just really simple. There's nothing like complicated. I didn't do nothing too massive. Just, you can whatever colors you want. Yeah, that's in simple one. Get used to the tools. Maybe this is too powerful. Yeah, so that's we're using the Eevee renderer right here, which is cool. And that's I'd be happy with something like that. It's not terrible. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, let's just quickly jump into cycles now. So what I want to do, what I do like to use is those Gobo ones. They add so much. So as you can see here, so if I was supposed to switch to cycles now, so I'll go to GPU, compute GPU, because my CPU is pretty crap, right? And already it does look, the light does look much cooler. I'm gonna move this a bit over here to the right a bit more, but it already looks really nice. Now I'm gonna do is go here, I'm gonna say horizontal split. I'm gonna change this to my asset browser. And I'm gonna use the Gobo light textures, which I get off Blender Market. It's cool, really cool texture, really cool ones. And they just add so much. So if I drop it into something like this geometric one, and we bring this up, very much that just adding something like that is so simple, but it just adds more to your scene. Just gives you that extra bit of detail you need. And then if I click on the spotlight itself, just change that radius a little bit. You can soften these edges so you don't see the shape as much. You can just like kind of blur them a tiny bit. Yeah, so they're nice and soft. It just looks cool. Something, it doesn't have to be anything extreme. If I want, I can mod that strength up. It's entirely up to you how you like this scene. But hopefully that was useful. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see or what you would like me to try create. I'm still learning, just like everyone else. But yeah, you know, it's entirely up to you. I'll work on the next video and catch you next time. Thank you again. Enjoy your day, morning, evening, and night. Bye bye.